okay?
Yeah, please do.
All right, so there we go. We are live now. Yay!
Are we now?
We got some super chats. We got some super chats to start off. Let's get to those right away. Ozzy, $5. Super Captain Foley and Superior Commander Murph, Great Koala. Do the Riker maneuver or Picard maneuver, Federation President Skeleton Hands.
God, it's such a journey of liking and disliking that comment. I always like a koala, but I'm not Murph, and yeah, I'm on a journey there, Stuart.
Yeah. Ozzy Maderos, $5. How is the Superior Commander Murph, aka Great Koala weather today?
Just
we were just talking about that.
Pretty bad. One of our big, more modern monuments, the O2 Arena, which is a big, like, it's not a circus tent, but it looks like a big circus tent, and it was made for the year 2000 as the big, like, hey, 2000, and then we just kept it, and it became a big arena, and like multiple parts of the outer bit got ripped and destroyed, so that's going to be a multi-million. I have no idea. I'm assuming multi-million to repair it. If they can't repair it, I'll just put a new big thing on it. So that's a thing that happened. And yeah, it's like seeing a giant be ripped. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Kit 10K is here with $10. He says, here we go. And Kit 10K, he's issuing his challenge again today, his super chat challenge.
Oh.
Which, rule number 1, he will keep track of the super chats and match the highest amount. Number 2, any and all amounts will count. 3, any super chats that I myself put in will not count towards the highest amount. 4, if there is a tie in the highest amount, I will match that amount just once. And lastly, number 5, at the end of the video, I will match and beat any super chat under $50.
Wow.
If they go over 50, I'll just match it. So that'll be awesome. So thank you so much, Kit 10K. You are amazing.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. Challenge been issued.
Do you feel that, guys? Do you feel the sense of, oof, I must rise to this, or I must whimper?
Yes.
Or just enjoy the show, you know?
Yes, this is also a thing. Hit that like button, guys. Do it. Daniel's going to share.
And...
oh.
Yeah, go and comment in our It's a Review as well. You know, we always make those nice, compact. This was obviously the live show with you guys, for you guys. Really, you know, we as the community all come together and doing it. But, you know, go check out the It's a Review. It's our genuine first reaction, because it's like 2 or 3 hours after I watch it, and someone's like 45 minutes after Stuart watches it. Sometimes like second almost. Sometimes it's like 2 minutes after, and we're on the Skype. That's like really nice, crisp first reaction. And then this is always fun as like a, well, how have we developed our thought process over a day, and then your chat reaction as well. So it's, go post a comment on that. We've got 26 comments so far. I'd love to see 30 comments on that by the end of the review, this review. So yeah, go comment on the edited one. Yeah, I'll see you in a minute then.
Yeah, do it. All right. He's going to go share, so it's my time to talk to you guys about liking the video. Hit that like button. It's simple, it's easy, it's free. Super chats are a great way to get your voice heard as well. We do read them all, and like I said, Kit 10K has issued that challenge. For the highest super chat amount, he will match that, so that is awesome. And also, don't forget that you can click the links down below. There's lots of things to Eagle Moss and T Public Store, the T Spring Store. Get yourself some Trekyards merchandise or some Eagle Moss ships. Lots of great ways to support the channel and help us out. You can also send a PayPal anytime during the live. Just send it to trekyards@hotmail.com. Again, all that information and the links for that are in the description down below. And just let us know you sent it, and we'll read your comment or question via the email while we're live as well. It's kind of like super chatting, because you do get us to read your comment. Yeah, that's another episode. You can also just, you know, like I said, hit that like button, share this video around, you know, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you're notified. If you want to click that join button, that is another way to help us on a monthly basis. There's a join button down there beside the subscribe button. You click that, you check out the different tiers that are available. We got a bunch of different people in a bunch of different tiers, and then all the tiers have somebody or multiple people in them, even at the highest one, which is amazing. Ozzy is one of them, Kit 10K is one of them, Olivia is one of them for the highest amount. So thank you, and also Mark Lawrence. So yeah, we got quite a few. So check that out. Just hit the join button. You don't have to join. You're not obligated when you hit the button, but you can see the different tiers and what's available to you. You get some cool emojis and stuff that you can use in the chat, and you get a little badge beside your name as well. So lots of really great stuff, and great ways to help us out. So if you can, please do. And also just let us know your thoughts on this video or this episode, and we'll drive the conversation forward, as it were. So Thank you so much, guys.
I'm back. It didn't
He's
die
back,
this time
guys.
because it has a habit of that recently. But it's all good.
Yeah.
We're all good right now.
Yeah, it does. So welcome back, Commander.
Hi. So, Stuart, what do you think of Season 4, Episode 9? Almost the end of Discovery Season 4.
I wasn't a big fan of this one. It was better than last week, and this would have been a better kicking off point for the return of the mid-season. But I really feel like last week's and this week's could have been combined into one episode, and that would have been fine. It just seems like filler, unfortunately. Like the whole plot of this one could have been handled in 20 minutes in another episode, and that's a bit of a shame, considering that there's only 13 episodes this season,
and only 10 next season. So this is their last chance of the longest season of the current batch, at least of live action.
Yeah, like it just seems like odd to have this kind of episode. Yeah, sure, some stuff happened, and there was some cool stuff in this one for sure, but at the end, it was just kind of underwhelming, unfortunately. I didn't find myself bored so much as just hearing the same thing. Yeah, hearing the same thing over and over and over again, and having like Book and even Tarka just be one beat characters, unfortunately. Michael Burnham had some, good command thing. A lot of her delivery I found a little cringy, but that's just me. We got, a few of the other crew. They tried to include some of the bridge crew in this one, and that was great. Nice little touch. And even a little subplot with Saru and the Navarian president. Tarina? Yeah, Tarina is her name. So there wasn't a lot here. The subplot was very, very, very minimal. But other than that, I mean, Bryce and Reese both got something to do. So did Dr. Culver. Even Detmer and Awashikam had some lines. So it was good. It was a good kind of ensemble. Even Linus was in this one. So, hey. Jet Reno was mentioned but not shown. So it was just... It almost feels like the second half of the season was written by the writing B squad. The first half had a lot of promise. We were enjoying the first half. And since the return, it's just been... I'm still waiting for something to happen. It's the same thing, and this ended on the beat of, hey, it's back in the exact same spot. So everything we just did is not important. But anyway, yeah, I'm hoping it gets better, and that's kind of where I stand with that. So it was all right.
Andrew, just one Trekyards comment though briefly. He asks, or he states, at the start, Discovery couldn't enter the anomaly, sent Book ship, but now Discovery can enter. Also looks different inside now. Am I missing something? Yes. So there's two parts to it. There is the outer cloud debris-filled element, which is what they went to the edge of originally and were trying to fly through. But from having been there, scanned it, and worked out there's something in the center, they saw there was a Eye of the Storm style area, which they could have always spawed into. They just didn't know where it was or how it was, and then they did in this episode. They spawed into it, but they didn't know what was in the middle, so it could have been a spaceship, could have been a wormhole, could have been whatever. So they, now they sort of knew enough. They went in. So it was always in there. That's what the kind of the thing in the middle was. But yes, all clouds, just sort of nice, pretty clouds was what's in the middle.
Some nice visuals for sure. Mm-hmm. Now, do you want me to read Eugene's?
Please do.
Before you give your first reaction. Okay. What is that in? Okay, this is a super chat amount in rubles.
It's a very nice super chat amount in rubles.
If Kit 10K is paying attention, how much should I tell him?
It's £25. It's about $32.
Okay. So thank you very much, Eugene.
Yeah, $33. So
nice, good conversion in my head. 2,500 rubles. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
He says, well, after watching the Non was in this too. After watching the non-reintroduction scene, I got a feeling this will this be one of those episodes. Fate of the Galaxy hangs on a thread. Events happen in mere seconds, and yet there are prolonged, calm dialogue scenes. I was not wrong. This kind of pacing is killing me. That's a good summation. Yeah, the pacing was just odd in this one. We need to get to crunch time here. Let's get this going.
Yeah, the pacing has been bad in most of these episodes for one different reason or another. This one is just seconds are taking minutes when they're also taking the pacing is not it doesn't feel terrible, but it's logically terrible, and then they don't give any sort of answer. I mean, it is just as bad as saying, Spock says deck 2, and he travels for 2.5 minutes. It equally dumb. All they have to do is say stop toe lift, etc. Equally as dumb, but that was made 56 years ago. So a little bit different to 7 months ago. Sorry, Stuart, you asked me a question.
Yeah, what did you think of the episode? What's your reaction?
In fact, did your enjoyment change the second, third, fourth, whatever watch after our first reaction? So you feel
I've only seen it twice.
Me too. So you feel a bit more neutral about it. I feel like you've gone slightly higher in your enjoyment. I feel like from second viewing. Like, I mean, iota, but like a little bit more.
Maybe an iota or two, maybe. It'll be interesting to see after this breakdown how I feel, because I didn't shift too much, but yeah. And the sad thing is, we could do this review and then I have to watch it pretty much right away after this, because Sylvia hasn't seen it yet. And Crave only releases it at like 3 in the afternoon today. So, yeah.
So what did I think? Well, I thought, do I really have to watch it today for this review again? That's how much I enjoyed watching the first time. It's not a bad episode. It's much better than last week, but last week was a bad episode in many ways. I agree with you 100%, and we both said that yesterday morning. It should have been last week plus this week in one 55-minute episode. That would have been a great episode. Like, lots happened, nice bit of pace, great ending. I'm getting the feeling in this entire season that, okay, this is a pandemic season, and it's hard to tell, so good job them. But it feels far more padded than ever before. And not necessarily padded in terms of things, just every scene takes longer to happen, which that means that they don't get to the next story beat until the next episode. So one story beat per episode, but when you have so little story, it's so incredibly dragged out to the point of it's starting to feel a bit silly. I get the feeling maybe they had a full proper season and they split it up into 2 seasons because they couldn't achieve the pandemic stuff. If they were still told to release Discovery in the same year, and just to film the filming is slower because you've got to do all the extra precautions. So I get the sense they shifted a ton of the story beats to a potential 5th season, and then they took what was left and then added more character bit in between to pad it out, which is how it feels, because so little story has happened. If this was a season 1 of a show, the audience would be thinking, God, this is a boring show. What the hell? Like, really not a good season, but it's a setup to a second. So that's the vibe I'm getting, and that's, if that's what they had to do to make a season of TV and not be pandemically ruined, fine. But they should at least make the character stuff more engaging and not just be Book and Burnham stuff, because they've all these secondaries. This was their season to explore, to give them dialogue. If all you have is time extra, if you have 10 minutes extra per episode to just have characters talk, get to know the side crew. This is your one season to do that, and they're squandering it again. So this episode is a solid okay again. It's fine. The first half is a decent setup, and visually the second half is very good. But as soon as you get near the end where they stop their mini space battle, which in itself is very poorly paced because of where the shields work, everyone just pauses. Even though the universe is on the balance, and it feels horrible both first and second time watching. You're just thinking, I guess they're just frozen in time on Bookship, when in reality they'd be launching it, and so that's a problem for sure. And then at the end, for me, there was some tension until Book comes down from the ledge, which is good. I liked that. We all knew that whatever his name is was going to launch it instantly. Tarka, like not revealed by any means. It was obviously going to happen, but it brings all the tension down for the episode because you just ramped up to this point, removed all that, and it just happens. So it's the most anticlimactic thing possible, and then for it to be even more anticlimactic at the end, where they just launch a new one, and it's like, well, the entire like 4-episode arc of let's steal the thing is redundant now, except to learn how powerful they are. Now, unless Book goes to jail and the scientist goes to jail, if they just get, forgiven because he whatever at the end, then you basically just padded an episode and a half of story into 4, and you padded the shit out of it. So odd. They kind of deflated their own balloon here, which should have been a great. This is the thing of 9 episodes to build up. Destroying this device, 9 episodes, and it felt like a damp squib. Huge damp squid. Squib. And boy, they've got to have such an epic payoff in the last few. We've said that for the last two, they've not achieved that. They are never going to be able to succeed in the last couple with what they've done in the setup here. It's going to be a big cliffhanger in season 5. That's fine. But this is such a slow, odd season that really should have been half as many episodes, or even maybe half the season, and then they had a break. Well, they didn't have a break. What am I saying? They had just not bad, but they're not living up to the potential of the last season, which was much better in my opinion. It's getting better every episode of just the percentage of cool things and good stories and.
Yeah. Well, Kit10K throws in $5. I have a currency conversion calculator, so Samuel, you are good because you're right about the amount. And he throws in another $5, which had the same message, but then he retracted it.
Oh.
I am Misi throws in $50. So
Whoa.
There you go. They're sure. And he says, episode was fine, just off. Like they mention Reno and don't show her.
Yeah.
I just want to move on to First Contact. Yeah, me too. I want to see what we're dealing with.
And Reno is definitely missing, especially if the ship's under attack. And they should, see Stamets in the spore drive chamber, and she's there yelling at him, and
yeah. Kit10K throws in another $5 and says, had an issue, so I sent a super chat with no text. But that's cool. Happy to send money to you guys.
And because of you and IMEC, we're already almost at a minimum, give or take, which is really nice to start off with. So, phenomenal.
Yeah. It's all gravy from here. General Grievous, $2. Episode is a medium act. It's neither rare or well done. Yeah. And Matt Boardman makes a good point. But hasn't that been the case for every season of this show? Huge build-up. Very little payoff.
Last season, I think they achieved it, though.
Yeah.
It might have been weird, but it was still...
That's controversial, though, because a lot of people hate the Scream.
I know. But we don't, and luckily that we're on the same page with that, because that would have been quite a heated argument, I think, at the end of the season. And I've said to you, and let me know in the chat, guys, based on what I'm going to say, and I've said this to you a few times now, do you think... if I was to go in and cut these episodes down, edit them down, will there be better episodes if you say cut 20 minutes out of each? Could I make a better season of TV just by refining the edit down?
Yes. You could turn this 13 episodes probably into 7 really good episodes.
Well, it depends on the payoff.
So that should have been a poll question.
Yeah.
Should have been a poll question.
Because it's not even like... It's not even like... So you'd have to cut out the character stuff, but so much of that stuff is not interesting. And there's extensions to scenes that are not necessary, it feels like. But there's still stuff happening, it's just not... It's odd. It's so odd. Like, if you should really fill all of your secondary time with really good, meaty, characterful stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's one of those things. It's better than some of the other episodes of the first couple seasons, but it's still, for this season, it's kind of lackluster.
Well, and question then, another question, guys. Would you rather have a bad episode you can talk about, or a mediocre episode there's not much to talk about? Like, is it more fun to watch a bad episode like season 1? Is it more enjoyable to be like, oh god, that ship design, oh god, that character, oh god, that plot hole, or just Like, what's more fun? Because surely this is an improvement from season 1, you know?
Yeah, like I said, I've been rewatching Discovery season 1. I still got through it. Kind of gave it up for Game of Thrones for a while. By the way, I'm on the last episode of Game of Thrones tonight, so that's okay. Anyway, I'm really enjoying season 1 more than I thought I would. Just because I'm not in review mode, I'm just in enjoyment mode, and binge watching it is a lot better than waiting. So, yeah, this one felt very meh to me, even compared to some of the episodes of season 1, which had its issues, obviously, but more for us than anybody because they said it was Prime, and we were always looking and comparing it to what Prime should be like. So, but yeah, I mean,
yes, I mean, season 1's plot hole filled. At least this doesn't really have any plot holes except the time thing. I mean, at least they feel like well thought out, if slow.
Yeah. Taylor T throws in $20. So thank you so much. It was nice to see Nan return to the show. I hope we get some more backstory about her family, Barzan culture. Not much else to say about this episode. Well, yeah, it was nice to see Nan back. She's easy on the eyes, so we can enjoy that. But yeah, I wish she did more. She kind of failed in her job a little bit in this one, I think. But hey, a little too close to the crew. She should have sent somebody. They should have sent somebody else. I'm all for getting Non back on board, but in the capacity and for the reason that they wanted her, I think it failed them in the long run as the Federation, and trying to uphold this ideal for all the new members and the people they want to have joining. I think they really dropped the ball on this one by assigning her to this role because she knows Michael and the crew too well.
Which is funny because we know her from her season 3 content, but she was such a tertiary in season 2. She was Pike's officer. She was in a couple episodes. She said "yum" at the end of season 2. That's why that's the only thing I remember from season 2. And then she was in season 3 a little bit, then left. I didn't think she was friends. Like the way they greeted her was like, oh, my old long lost friend that I've only spent 13 minutes of screen time with. That you know what I mean? Like it makes you feel as if they've been friends for a long time, but I don't think they ever were really.
No, but I mean they spent enough time together, and they are from the same time. Like that's a big thing. Like if you jump 900 years in the future, and it's like when you go on vacation, you go to like a resort in Mexico, and you meet somebody from Canada.
Yeah.
You know, they live in Toronto. They live an hour and a half from you. It's like, wow, that's cool, man. And you kind of have this bond right away. You kind of chat with them. It's that kind of thing. Like, hey, you're from the same time we are. Sweet.
Yeah, and that's absolutely extremely true. Just don't think she was ever as friendly as the scene less, sentimental as it is. But you're right, it is just because of the time stuff. It's just right. Yeah. And guys, vote the poll. Say what the poll is, Stuart. Come on, put a vote in this.
Oh, we got a poll.
Because I'm interested. Vote the poll.
So for these episodes of Discovery, would you rather have bad episodes, lots to talk about, or okay episodes with not much to say?
I was,
General Grievous, $5. Clara, is the scream a good thing? 12th Doctor, it depends on the context. The painting, yes. Star Trek, no. I still like the meme of that. Is 12 followers a good thing? Depends on the context. Social media, no. In a dark alley, yes. I mean, the other way around. You know what I mean? I am Misi, $5. Who else was just sitting there waiting for Tarka to betray Book? I was. Book's standing at the window looking at Michael, and Tarka's right behind the console. Not a great idea. Lock him out or something. Book should have done a little and focused on the camera should have focused on things and said, operator lockout or something, which Tarka could maybe override, but at least it would have shown that Book wasn't like being a complete idiot. So
that's the thing about a setup and a payoff. Sometimes it's so obvious because it's meant to be a thing that you meant to see happen. It would have been much cooler if he had said to Book, say, I think we should beam over Discovery now. Okay, Logan Shields, the Logan Shields, and he beams him over and then launches it without, and maybe stealing the ship or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, let's get into it, Stuart. So we start the episode with a it's very much a 3-parter continuation vibe. They put the isolinium in the bomb works, just need a few hours to set it up so that it'll blow up this big, massive 10 light year thing, but it'll have a normal sector, a normal bit of space inside of it, which will somehow separate a bomb from the DMA from its power source. He doesn't know where it is, otherwise he'd know that it's not inside it. So he thinks it's a power, so he's wrong in every way here. I'm not sure I get the science logic of... So it's a bomb that can also create a subspace or a shield. So it's a bomb and a shield, which can survive its own explosion, but it's meant to be paying powerful.
They say null space, which implies that, it's outside of regular space, so everything in normal space will explode, but the null space bubble will be fine because it's not affected by the explosion.
Although you would think if you're doing that, you're going to separate... If that is what it is, then you're already separating the power source from the device, which will turn it off. So why blow up the outside of the device if you can already separate it?
Right.
Like it's...
And I gotta love the be careful with that. Use the tongs to set it in the thing, and it shifts. It's like that wasn't filmed well. I'm sorry, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's like Dave throws in 2 pounds. The crew loved evil Giorgio, so Nan isn't a reach.
Yeah. But the thing is, we all like Nan. Like she's like Pike. She was gravitated towards by the audience. Like, oh, she's a great actress, great character. At least after the Yum, and then they've added her back in, which is great. Yeah, she's good character.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it's still going to take 5 or 6 hours for this thing to get ready, but yeah, they talk about generating the null space bubble, which we just talked about, so...
And then back on Discovery, Burnham gets a message from Book, who's now looked at the data from last episode, saying it's a mining tool, not a weapon, but he basically says, nah, it doesn't change anything, which is, why would it necessarily change anything? Ill intent doesn't necessarily mean difference between destruction and non-destruction. And he has quite an apt I love you and also goodbye, so it feels like a I might die moment. And as always, David, there's a great performance, and he's, I think, given a bit too much this season. You would think, percentage-wise, because all these actors have been here since season 1, doing their time, being in the chairs, and this guy gets 10 times the amount of lines compared to every other actor, give or take, who's not Burnham. I wish there's a bit better balance. He's great, though. He really does do well in all the scenes.
Listen, Jericho, do you think Non regrets leaving the Enterprise after reading the history books? Yeah, probably.
Well, she skips her planet being in the Federation, so I think that's the point. She's really happy about that. Yeah. So,
I am Misi throws in $5, so thank you so much. Also, Bookship has how many torpedo launchers that can apparently make Disco's bridge spark? Well, got 2 things to say about that.
We'll get there as well. That'll be a whole thing as well when we get there. But yeah, you can address it. I'm just saying that'll be a whole thing as well.
I was surprised he said torpedo tube number 6. Like, really, on a ship that? The thought that went through my mind is they must be micro torpedoes like Delta Flyer uses, like small ones.
Well, we saw how big the device is, so if that's the size of a torpedo.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So,
and as for the Disco's bridge sparking, I mentioned this to Samuel when we were filming. I don't know if it's in the review or not, but I get sick of seeing the bridge on fire, sparking. Like, there's never a calm moment on that bridge, or the displays. Even when there is a calm moment, they're in some kind of weird anomaly, and the displays are doing their double exposure thing, and they look stupid. It's like, just have the bridge be the bridge, guys. It doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
Chuck A, $2. Great live stream, guys. Thank you. Well, thank you for the compliment.
Just going to start as well.
Thank you. And hit that like button, guys. We're only at 42. I want to get to 50. Easily doable. Kit 10K puts in $10, so thank you. We have $50 as the highest super chat at the moment. So come on, guys. Don't go Ferengi on me and cower in the corner or cheap out on me. Let's keep the big chat.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. And it does make a big difference. And this month's already looking up from last month. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for Stuart. I mean, for doing those late night lives. And it's great because when Picard hits, I'm sure everything's going to kind of kick off because Discovery's not done that, but Picard will.
Yeah. Hopefully. This is going to be better, and the word's going to spread. I don't have much to say about this scene. All I said about it was you think holographic technology would be perfect by now, but there's always an occasional little glitch just to show that it's a hologram. One thing that went through my mind when I was watching this, I don't know if you agree, but having a holographic little set of numbers here. You know how you get the L cards with the scrolling numbers? Have a little display wherever they look. It's like transmission data, just kind of, so you don't have to worry about glitching the holo matrix every time. It would just be something new, because the technology should be perfect at this point.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It was already basically flawless in Discovery era, despite being very not flawless in DS9 era. So it's a flawed technology by itself. They haven't even, they haven't updated the bridge or the L cars.
Yeah.
They don't care. That's not what they're going to do. So just give up on that, honestly. Sorry. It's a visual reboot. This isn't visual canon. So.
Or have it not be a full-figured hologram. Have it be on a desktop and be like this tall or something. Perfect representation of the person.
Yeah.
Anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So then we get the Vance and Burnham talk. Just about her leading the mission and stuff. And I don't even remember what happens here. Hold on, let me read this.
So they say I had to really do some political maneuvering to get you in the mission because, everything about this is you're comfortable. Although she does, in fairness, she does do a good job. I'll give her credit. So I'm not gonna. Unlike other captains or other Trek, or even her in previous seasons, she does do captainly. But he's all on her back and says, but the compromise is that we have to bring an officer to basically take over if you fail. She's like, with respect, that's Saru, and he's like, yes, but he's also likes Book a lot. I'm thinking, some. There's not really a comparison. She sleeps with him, but loves him, but he's maybe a friend. Like, I don't think if liking him a bit is enough to choose him over the galaxy, then Saru shouldn't be there. Saru's smarter than that. He doesn't like Book that much. Let's be honest. Even for like Bryce, he might pick the Federation of how little he knows Bryce, or at least how little we know Bryce. But it's just an excuse to bring this surprise person who's listening the entire time, because suddenly she beams in, and it's Nan, who looks great in the uniform. I still like the uniform, security officer uniform. Yeah.
And it's a nice greeting and hug, and then Burnham says, "Sir, I have to say, if the concern is my connection to Book, Nan and I go way back, like 900 years. We've known each other for 900 years."
Well, in reality, you only knew her for maybe 6 months.
Yeah.
For season 2 and this bit of season 3, maybe 6 months, and you're not willing to hang out with her the entire time. So that's. Yeah. But the audience is meant to forget that. She was in season 2 and therefore her big friend. It's like, no, they weren't.
Yeah. And then Vance points out that she's a Barzan, and there's a reason so many of her the Barzans serve in the security forces, and because their motto is duty above all. So
I like it. I buy it. That was a good line.
Yeah. And she points out that she only kind of met Book in passing, so she doesn't really know Book. So yeah.
No, it's a fair thing, and then she chats to Burnham, and we get the subtext, which we'll talk about at the end as well. Just because we this is the galaxy's at stake. Let's talk about your life, which is fine. It's just a weird thing. Instantly go into that.
And the whole point out of upgraded my breathers. Yeah,
we saw that.
But asked about a family, all that, whatever. But she also said, I was doing some like cleanup task force work. It was all like super top secret, working against the Emerald Chain. Mm-hmm. And Burnham's like, I read the reports. How the fuck do you read the reports? I know you're a captain, but if it's super top secret, as she just said, what? It's just that was just weird the way that was handled. So
it's also funny as later in the episode she actively says, "Oh, and I couldn't talk to you again because I couldn't be totally honest about what I was doing." But if she read your reports, then
right.
It's a slightly clumsy scene.
Yes.
It's not organically placed. I don't know Wade placed it. It's a situation where the audience told the producers everyone likes Nan, so let's give her character stuff in the middle of universe destroying stuff, and you're like, I guess.
I am Misi throws in $5, trying to think if Picard would kill, say, Crusher in a similar situation, and I can't decide if he would. He would. I'm fairly certain. If it came down to it, he would give that order. It's a question. It's a situation that pretty much all captains in Star Trek have been in at least once. So, yeah, usually the order comes just as they're about to give the order. Something amazing happens and saves the day. So, yeah.
Yeah, if she stole the ship and did a thing. I mean, yeah.
And Kit 10K throws in $10. Is it just me or did Nan get hotter? Damn, I need to get a girlfriend. No.
She does look rather good in this.
Yeah.
But she looked rather good last year too, so.
Yummy.
Oh. Speaking of yummy, the Vulcan president has the hots for Saru even more. My issue with this, and it's so poorly written in the abstract, they could have fixed it in one line. You cut to Saru watering plants, absolutely fine. He looks up, makes a decision, turns, badges his thing, calls the president across the galaxy in Vulcan Navarre. She picks up that second to, "Hello, Mr. Saru." I'm thinking
she's been waiting by her communicator for the Saru call.
What's the time zone difference?
Yes.
How is she not busy?
She's the president.
She's not a meeting. Yeah. She's easily busier than anybody in this ship. I just find it laughable. I know it happens sometimes, often, whatever. But one line could have said either she's calling him, which would make more sense, he's not as busy, or he'd booked a meeting, as you'd said in our previous discussion. It just seems so inorganic. You can't just call somebody. If I'd FaceTimed you even 4 hours ago, you probably wouldn't have been free. You know, and not just that, it's, I want to have a personal, intimate conversation with you, even though that means that wherever she is, he's now appearing, and whoever she's with, maybe in a diplomatic mission, they're now watching her be emotional with Saru. She's not probably in her quarters. It's just one line of dialogue, 2 lines of dialogue. Just make the scene better by having that. It's a nice scene. It's a fine scene, but it's just faulty to its core, and it hurts the enjoyment of it. As a Shields down to 50% later also do. But that's a Discovery thing. Somebody's poor understanding of universes. Did it annoy you guys as well? Yeah.
I wanted her to be on the toilet when the call came through.
I made that joke. Yeah.
The Spherical says they altered her eyes. Yes. After the upgrade of my breathers, Burnham says new eyes, new you, or something. Yeah, but this basically, Saru wants peace. He wants to have that meditation session they had before, and she holds her holographic hands up to his and says, "You're uneasy." All right, cool. We've addressed this before with the holograms, but it's fine. And then she's like, "I find social interactions, a meal or something, or a good way to get your mind off of things. So I'm kind of, do you wanna get jiggy with it, like Netflix and chill?" So yeah.
Well, it'd be
Trekyards and chill.
Well, Trekyards and Ponfar, really, but.
Oh, nice.
It's cute. It's cute. She's asking him out. He looks like a little puppy.
That's a T-shirt. Trekyards and Ponfar. That's a new T-shirt.
There you go. And he's like a little puppy but in a sense, she's like, "I love you," and he's like, "Thanks." It's not that bad, but normally when someone asks you out, you say yes or no. She's like, what a lovely idea, maybe. Bye. It's not awkward or anything. It's just like, "Oh, you little puppy," because you never get a sense of who's ever been with anybody ever in any format emotionally. His entire life he was, saw the coming of death, always anxious, always noticing problems, always sensing, always feeling that stuff, and he knew he's only going to live so many years before he goes crazy. So he's never had any girlfriends or anything, it feels like, and he's the only one of his species. He's never shown interest in his non-race. So this is probably his first whatever. So that's nice and cute. And it just feels also a bit out of place this episode. It's like we really want to have a B plot. We're going to give it less than 4 minutes, and the world's dying. It's like, it's just inorganic. That's the problem with universe-ending events. All the small stuff feels infinitely smaller by comparison. Whereas when you have a mystery like this, the burn, it's a past things happened. You can have some moments and feel organic. With literally a species that could attack you any second, all this stuff feels meaningless in a grand scheme. So you need those big A stories to drive forward, but they can't do that either. So they're sort of fading in both. They're not bad, just they're not well planned.
Yeah. Dave puts in £2.
Thank you.
And says, Riker made the call and fired on Picard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great analogy.
And that was such a impactful result.
Pity it wasn't in better episodes. Oh, hot take. And guys, keep voting in the poll. I really like to know what you guys think. It's not close currently, but I just like to see what you guys think.
And hit the like button, because we're not up to 50 yet, guys. It should be super easy, barely inconvenient. Just hit that thumbs up. So, all right. So then we get Saru coming on the bridge with a bit of a swagger. And then we get the whole discord between the crew where Reese is talking to Lieutenant Nielsen, saying, Book hasn't given us much of an option, but a lot of people kind of agree with them. And then Saru is like, "Hey, you got your orders, so it doesn't matter what you think. You're still gonna do your job." Dex giggity. There you go. Yeah.
Good.
What did you miss?
Good job, Internet. What a garbled mess.
It happens. Yeah, that happens when I'm listening to you. Like a lot of times, it's like they'll cut out and then like get a whole scramble of what you said, and I'm like, oh yeah, I pieced that together. Good job.
Not this time. Stuart,
Anyway,
what did you say?
what was I saying?
You said Reese doesn't agree with Nielsen.
About Reese and Lieutenant Nielsen. Well, not that they don't agree with each other, but just that a lot of people agree with Book, and Saru's like, no. You got to do your job. So that's what you're here for. Doesn't matter what your personal thoughts are, and that sets up for later, which is good. And then we get the whole, hey, look who's back. Non comes on the bridge.
Yeah, and it was very nice these actors given anything. I'm not going to say given anything. They weren't in like they probably weren't in about half the season so far. You know, but it's nice to see something and a bit of actual three-dimensionality to the scene, because this isn't, you know, a lot of people voted for the other option, so you can't say one is right or one is wrong. It's a perspective choice. And if they always said, we'll wait a week and do it anyway, then obviously the other choice is right. It's just not necessarily first option. I just wish they were given more lines, because, well, as always.
Yeah, and Non even says, you know, hey, don't mind me, I'm just here to observe. And Burnham's like, no, tell them the truth. They should know. She's here to basically, you know, slap me on the wrist if she needs. But yeah.
Well, that's why
I don't know if you heard the super chat, because the internet cut out, but I'll read the general Grievous one real quick. General Grievous, $2. Long distance pawn fire with linked holodecks. Giggity.
Yeah.
And Kit 10K, $5. I think Saru's relationship with his potential Vulcan lover could be interesting. If, keyword if, it's handled right. It's everything with Discovery. Or New Trek, if it's handled right.
And we called that from their first screen time. They had a certain chemistry. I gotta say, I'll give Burnham credit here. I think she has a lot of good captaining decisions. Now she's in the centre seat, they're writing her better. All they know they can't write her as wrong, let's say that. And so I like this transparency. It's so unlike her. It's so unlike this crew. It's so unlike this show to come out and be blatant, be honest. The show's often had, we've got to keep secrets and la la la, and secrets help divide, and just is honest, everyone, and everyone gets on the same level, and we can push forward properly. And it's really a nice little moment, and it's very balanced, and it's good.
And she even agrees, you know, if the Admiral made the right choice, I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
And then we get the saddest "Let's fly" ever. Let's fly.
And then we get the ship cloaking, then sporing, which is cool. Double ding down.
Yeah.
Although I find this odd, because they've beamed onto the ship, they're doing this mission, and normally in Trek we have right, let's go to the mission and go. Okay, we'll wait until we're there. In this world, let's go to the mission. Okay, we're starting right now, which means all the momentum for the last scene. Let's go do it, and they're there within 1 second. And now to the briefing room. It's like, what? you had all the momentum and you lost it all. Just start in the briefing room then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a good point. It's a good point. They wrote in that there was travel time or something when there wasn't.
Yeah. It just tonally, it's just it takes less than a second pretty much. So it's just you know, there's a scene later on as well which is just laughable with one-lines dialogue. It's just really hard for pacing when it's instant. That's never a thing that's happened before.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah. Anyway, so they know that they're in there and they're finishing the weapon, but yeah. So they join in the ready room. They talk about the plan. The plan is to basically use the shuttle cloaks and basically dock to the Book ship, get on board, and be able to either stop them or talk them out of it. So they're taking Dr. Culber, they're taking Bryce and Reese, and Saru is going as well. So pretty good plan, I guess, but I don't know. Just doesn't quite pan out, as we're going to see in a second. But
yeah, again, I liked her logic of, you know, you guys go. It again, very captainly, makes sense. It bounces well.
And Culber even says, you know, Book's not unreasonable. He's doing what he thinks is right. But Tarka is going to be the wild card. So
because Book's not hysterical. He's made a choice to do in many other seasons of this show that would be the right choice. and they're all committed to it. It just happens to be they made the other choice, etc. Now this is what surprised me. So it cuts to their mission crew, and you've got the communications guy, I guess the tactical guy, Chief Medical Officer,
Looks like
and
it, yeah.
Saru. No tactical team, no science officers, except Saru, who is the command officer now.
And no tactical equipment either.
No, they've all got phase in their hands, but it's like, it's such an odd away mission team. If the plan is to walk onto the ship, guns blazing, and then say stop, because you've got to go talk to them, you're going to have phases like lined up. It just feels like an odd arrangement. I love getting these two guys to have a line dialogue. Fantastic. Although it's so sad to see her just say, "Shut up!" I'm like, no, let them keep talking, please. They've committed years of their lives to this show. You're letting them talk. You keep stopping them. Oh. But it just seemed like an odd arrangement of officers. It felt like, you know, this should be a tactical team with the command officer. You know? I don't know. It just seems odd to me.
No, it does. And then they have the whole, like, Bryce and Reese are totally opposite ends of this situation. And they kind of get put in their place by, Saru a little bit, but then more by Dr. Culver. Like, we're here to fix this. That's what we're going to do. Together. It's like, all right, cool. This is good. It was fine. But.
Yeah.
Nothing else to say. But then they dock.
Yes.
Now, do you think the cloak is actually that inefficient that you can see the ship, or do you think that's just a visual representation for the
No, it's all for the audience. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do quite like the... Well, it gives us a hell of a scale. I mean, you know...
Yeah.
Dedicated docking port. I kind of like there's no physical docking port either. It's all a gravity field that, you know, it's a force field. I kind of like that as well.
Yeah, the docking sequence on the main view screen with like the wireframe is really cool. I do like that.
I do feel like Booker could detect a cloak shuttle instantly, especially if it's next to the hull.
But Saru said that they were using, I could go back and see, but they're using some kind of thing to fool their proximity sensors. It was in the mission briefing scene.
But that's the problem with an arms race sort of thing, is that when you have a cloak, you want to design stuff that can detect ship while cloaked. Later on in the episode, Booker can detect Discovery while cloaked, and Discovery can detect Booker while cloaked. Yes, they're in an environment where cloaks are half working, but they also can't detect them while cloaked other times. So it's very inconsistent. But here, you know, Discovery can't see through it because I guess they're on the same cloaking field. It's fine. It's just, it would have been nice to have had just something else. I don't know.
Anything else? Yeah. Eugene, 500 rubles, so thank you.
There you
go. Yes, this angel devil over the shoulder is kind of on the nose. I would say it feels out of character, but the actual out of character thing was to have more than one line per episode. Yeah.
Harsh. Now, also noting that you see the energy field is not cloaked. So the docking field is not cloaked. So they should be able to detect the docking field.
Well, you've seen that be programmable matter as well. So, yeah.
Let's not assume there's logic here. It's a spectacle, and it goes from bad to worse very quickly.
Yeah, so anyway, Tarka installed an intrusion warning system, illegal tech, on the way to Porthia, the gambling one in the last episode, just because they were going there. You didn't want somebody to, like, do anything illegal. And it's basically killing the crew, because it's, like, enveloping the ship. Like, by the time I got through the first layer, they'll be dead. It's like, well, you should have maybe thought of that beforehand, because who's going to be coming after you on this mission, after the gambling planet anyway?
Only Discovery. It's the only ship that can follow you, possibly.
It's such a bad intrusion tech, because it'll kill anybody that... Like, you don't necessarily want to do that. Depending on who it is, you might want to beam them on board your ship. You might want to put them in the brig. You might want to... But this negates all that, because you can't beam them out. It's like, well, that's just dumb tech. Sorry.
Well, because they somewhat play it as if this is an accident, in terms of it's not what it's designed for. But this thing is clearly responding to a foreign. Its proximity sensors that apparently been disabled, but at least the ones I knew about. It's proximity activated, like living replicable matter, killing, fine, but only if you touch the ship, which means only docking or spacewalk.
Mm-hmm.
So that's only and they have to be cloaked to not be detected, and the ship can
might
get
be
up
for
to
when they
you.
were, might be for when they were at the gambling thing. If it was parked, if the ship's parked, nobody can get on board.
Yeah, no, I thought you were assuming that earlier. That's fine, but once you leave that, I guess you just forget it's active. I guess, but
Book didn't know, to be fair. That was
no,
installed
no.
on a ship, so.
And in theory, they did think they were completely gone, but it just seems like such a flawed concept for a ship-based thing because it has to be a docking ship, has to be cloaked. Own Discovery can chase you. It's going to be a Discovery shuttle, and it's going to kill the people on board.
Yeah.
There's no other things it can do. I'd said to you in another review that if it had in fact enveloped it quicker, like and solidified, and then jettisoned it, like it could separate from itself, leaving the shuttle with like a 2-minute deadline or a 10-minute deadline of it to be crushed. Because if you kill hostages, the people coming after you will come after you. If you make hostages and then give them a ticking clock so that they're dying 10 miles away, they give you time to jump. So it's a flawed concept initially, but they just want an action beat, really, and that's kind of all
it was a good visual seeing it creep up on the shuttle and the shuttle decloak. Like, this is some good stuff there.
It's just the pacing's a bit odd again.
Yeah, and Kartsy says Tarka didn't care. He wasn't from this universe. Okay, Tarka is from from this universe.
100%.
There's a line of dialogue where he talks about the other universe, where the scientist friend of his knows about another universe that they were both trying to get to, because there's no war there. They want to be happy. He is from this universe. I've heard many people say he needs to get back to his universe, and the fact that they write him to say, "I want to go home," doesn't help. I mean, it could be that he is in fact from another universe. We just haven't got that reveal yet. But he keeps saying the term, "I want to go home. I need to go home." It's the home he wants, not the home he's from, to clarify.
And let's not pretend he might be lying. That's all good.
Well, he might absolutely be lying. Yeah.
But think of it this way, guys. If you buy a house, would you call that your home after you buy it? Even if you haven't lived in it yet.
Home is where the heart is.
Yeah, it's your new home.
Yeah.
I have to go home, even if he hasn't lived there yet. So he is mentally committed to being somewhere else. Fully committed. He's leaving this universe for a new one. So that is his new metaphorical home. But he's from our universe. They've always said that. Unless he's lying, but in which case everything he does is sort of irrelevant. It's like, well, who the hell knows, you know? But yeah, so they destroy the shuttle, but just in the nick of time, beam them away. Although I was disappointed by the lack of... Saru's meant to be very clever, and this bridge crew is meant to be quite clever. They do nothing here to help the solution. I know it's several seconds, but Saru is useless. And, he is in... Like, he's gone in science mode, because he's just captured. He's like, do something, everyone. Well, you were a science officer for like 10 years. You could do something, Saru, please?
Tarka and Book tried to help by putting an EMP pulse through the thing, and then Discovery tells them to activate thrusters at the exact same time, so maybe it would work. But that basically just doesn't work. So.
Oh no, I love that Book tries to save them. That's great. That's lovely. But I'm just saying that Saru is meant to be a science expert, and him and this crew did literally nothing except activate thrusters, which in itself, with hull integrity at 10%, will destroy the shuttle. They know that. So they are, you know what I mean? It's like putting Kirk on a thing. It's like, and everything else is wrong. It's like, no, they're talented people. I just wish they'd done. I know they've got limited time to tell the story, but it makes everyone in this crew like a little bitch. Because they're all going to die. Like they failed. They were dying. But they saved them in the nick of time, I guess.
Which is a pretty neat visual, the ship ripping apart, and then also.
I'm not sure why they could suddenly beam them, given Book still had his anti-beam field, and they couldn't beam while they were engulfed in the thing. Why would it crack? Why would it be cracked, then allow them to beam? Because they didn't escape, they didn't break free.
Because they were exposed to just open space at that point.
So at that point, just lower your shields.
Blocking the beam.
But their shuttle shouldn't be blocking the beam either. I mean, there's more. The shuttle.
The intrusion tech was.
But it's not over the whole thing yet, though. It was still plenty of open shuttle.
I know, but there might have been.
No, so you think like an energy field around it, but then it cracking wouldn't break the energy field. Otherwise, that's a shitty energy field. It would still maintain.
Yeah, because where you watch where it cracks, that's the part of the ship that's not covered with the stuff. So as soon as that cracks and comes away, to get a beam in there. Anyway, I'm fine with it.
They could have done a better of it. That's
They
most
could've.
things of the show. So
Ahova Harry says, wonder if that tech was Federation approved. No, Tarka makes the point of saying that it's illegal tech. So
well, no, he was saying
definitely
we were
not
going to
Federation.
buy illegal tech, so I was doing a clever thing. I think we're just turning.
Yeah, but you'd assume he's getting it from a black market source.
I think he just converted a replica matter thing of the ship itself. I think he just rerouted something because he's very clever.
Possibly, yeah.
Just hacked it.
Yeah.
'Cause it's still a limited tech. I also find it funny, as soon as they come aboard, Burnham says to the black guy, who I can't remember the name of, Bryce. Now go do the thing you were doing originally. Like, you would have died
Which
4
was
seconds
helping-
ago.
was helping Kovic find a way to contact. They bring that line up
Yeah.
earlier too.
But I just love the pacing
Yeah.
of, like, you almost died. Now go back to your mission. It's like... Thanks.
Yeah.
What a weird time telling that as soon as he almost died. Very strange.
No, totally agree.
Then they spore away. And that was your chance. That was your surprise. That was your... Yep. But you didn't know where they're going. So, oops.
Well, and we get a beautiful visual of like this cloud, which looks, well, it could be a nebula, but and then Discovery like spore in, which is great.
But then you get one of the other things I have a problem with dialogue-wise, is that, so they've just, Burnham and Book has just spored away, right? And they know where they're going, DMA, middle bit, fine, great, we're going to go. And so she says, alright, we got to go get them, are we ready for anything? Alright, let's go. And it's like, how can you be ready for anything in 1 second when nothing's changed? If you're not doing anything to make the situation different, ready for anything just means be your normal selves. Well, and do you not think they're going to be ready for anything? Like, it's just such a nonsensical thing. If they're travelling, if they're waiting, if they're doing something, but it's like, be ready for anything in 3, 2... Okay, now be ready for anything. Did it, Captain? We're ready for anything now. Good!
Yes.
Now stop being ready for anything. Okay, we're ready for some things. It's just a stupid set of dialogue to add tension and then boom, we're back where we were. It's like, well, that's not... Yeah, it's just a faulty problem with that sort of pacing that... Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. And people are pointing out they shouldn't be able to spore while cloaked, and it's
Why
like,
not?
yeah, well, I don't know, but there's a lot of things that aren't explained.
For
so
a
you just
second
need to-
cloak. Yeah. Why not?
Exactly. And asking why can't they go out through the galactic barrier?
Well, they
Makes
can.
no sense. Like our galaxy is in a bubble prison. Essentially, it is. It's surrounded by energy.
I'm sure the spore drive can go through the galactic barrier. Because
Yeah.
just go on the other side. I mean, of course they can. They can go through time to the part of the galaxy. Of course they can go through it. Because they're not going through it. They're using space around space to go past it. So yeah, of course they can.
Yeah.
It's just they wouldn't know where to go. Well, they do know where to go. But they don't know if they could spore inside the 10 Seas bubble. So it's safer to go through their wormhole because they'll go directly to their side rather than spore to the bubble. Then you've lost the element of surprise. We'll see which way they go. But they can. They can leave the universe.
Yeah. Limited scanning range, like trying to find a needle in a haystack, like my grandma used to say.
Lucky it's super easy. Barely inconvenience, though.
Exactly. Yeah, we need to find the controller. Start a grid pattern search.
Although you would think it's all coming from a point, and like there should be energy sending off. I mean, they do explain search for the subspace distortions rather than the device itself. But of course, why would you search for like a 1 mile diameter box in 5 light years worth of space? Of course, you search for the disturbance that's huge. But it's just tell the audience we've got a better plan. It's like, okay, cool.
This Jericho says it was mentioned in a previous episode that they couldn't spore jump while cloaked.
Well, they couldn't spore jump while old cloak. I do not think they mentioned that during 32nd century cloak, because they obviously did, so they obviously can.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they've not said that for this this sort of cloak.
But then Nan pulls Burnham and Saru into a thing and says, "Look, if you failed your mission, this is my orders. We're supposed to disable the spore tech on his ship, fire a photon torpedo at the impulse manifold. The detonation will cause a chain reaction." And yeah, hit a weak spot in the drive.
Mm-hmm.
And destroy the whole damn thing.
Death Star it.
So, yes. Yes.
Which I like this plan B, and I don't even mind. It doesn't feel like a secret the way she told it. It's just this is your plan B. Like, we're hoping not to use it, so I'm fine with the parlance here.
But they wouldn't be able to beam them out, and Non says, which is why this is a last resort. And if the explosion sets off the isolinic weapon, it could destroy this Discovery in the process. So it's kind of a plan. So, well, but not if we jump away first. Yeah, but
yeah, it's an all or nothing kind of plan mostly, but you know, it's a plan. Was intended to be. Plan. Yeah. And they almost get heated, but Saru stops them. Something else happens.
Well, Saru, let's see.
Compromise. Oh yeah, he says let's do a compromise, and so she talks to Stamets about, well, why don't we suggest a new option, which is let's work out how long the DMA will be here, because they know exactly what they're looking for. They can work out how long much. So if they can work out how long left they'll stay, then we know for a fact it's not going to jump before that. So if they've got 2 days, 3 days a week, it's not going to kill more, because their entire point is we can't kill more people. Then if they've got a week till it moves, then you've got a guaranteed week of clear, a week to go make first contact. So I really like that as a simple plan. I'm shocked they didn't do this already. I'm sure the first science ship there would have worked out how long, because every single planet is worried where it's going. If you remember the first time DMA came in, and so it's like, Kelpia is really having Camelot's really having problems with this. So you think someone would have suggested in the council, let's work out how long until it moves, so we know how long we have until it could kill again. So I don't believe for a second it's the first time it's happened, except that's what they're telling us. So it's a plot hole really, but it's a great idea. Just should have been 4 episodes ago, if not, 1 episode ago. Well, I guess if they only was getting the material last week, but you would have thought it'd be the first thing you ask is, well, okay, how quick is it? How long is it?
There's some weird dialogue here too, like, we should call the Admiral. Let's do it together.
Vance! Hey man! So, we failed?
No, you put it on speakerphone. We're doing it together.
It's Burnham.
No, speakerphone. We're doing it together.
Oh,
speakerphone.
Okay.
I want to hear the Admiral. We're doing it together.
Okay.
They link arms.
Okay. I've got Saru, and I've got, what's your name? Nan. Sorry, you thought we were friends, right? Okay, we can kill Book or not. What do you think? I'm not getting signal because I'm inside the DMA.
Yeah, and they never show the scene where they talk to Vance. Unless I missed it.
Like, I'm sure they spore out and do it, because I don't really believe they can real time. Because you remember they're
doing a grid search. They need to find the DMA. They're not going to jump out to do that.
But they get approval from Vance and the president. Like, they could barely talk. They could barely send a holographic signal through a bit of the cloud of the DMA.
Yeah.
So then they can go through 10 light years of DMA radiation. No, they can't. Of course they can't. But they did. But of course they can't.
Yeah. But then we get Book saying, "Look, you almost killed them." He's like, "Hey, this plan of mine's been 10 years in the making."
Which is an actual hint to something.
Yeah. Needs to do what I need to do. It needs to be done. And Discovery, if Discovery gets in our way, there's going to be a point where you need to decide what you're doing. Your feelings for them or the DMA. And Book's like, whatever. What do we do? Is the weapon ready? He's like, yeah, it's been ready. I asked you which torpedo tube you wanted it put in, but you were too busy. And that's where he says torpedo tube 6. It's like, how many things torpedo tubes does this thing have?
A courier ship that had transwarp, warp, slipstream, 6 torpedo tubes, can modify, it can destroy Discovery shields in 50%, and it can also destroy Osiris ship, give or take. This thing is freaking a beast.
Yeah.
This thing is there anything more powerful than Book ship? Who knew cargo ships were this powerful? I know it's modded and everything, but still, it's obscenely well equipped.
And then they pick up an energy spike, and oh no, Book's coming right at us.
Although,
10 degrees.
Well, I was going to briefly though. This scene, I start to feel like they have nothing new for Tarka to say.
Yeah, I know.
Have they not had this conversation several times already this season, let alone off screen? We know this. This is an absolutely redundant scene.
And And Marley McCleary says, "I'm sure bookship launch quantum torpedoes, fairly powerful arsenal." Yes, he does launch.
Well, especially
Star
Discovery
launches.
only launches photons, so they actually have a stronger yield. We'll get there in a second.
But here it's like hard degrees or 10 degrees hard to port. Are you telling me in 900 fucking years, the inertial dampeners haven't been upgraded to the point where you're not going to do this when you turn hard? 900 years to get inertial dampeners fixed, unless they're offline or they're redirecting power somewhere else. It just seemed like ridiculousness to me. But hey, look, we're all leaning to this side.
God tech is not God tech, which we like, but yeah, no, for sure. And I did think a bit odd. They both can detect when they're more cloaked and not, and they do say cloaks are sort of working, but if this is meant to be a massive, big space, and they jumped in sort of randomly, the chance of even spotting Discovery is super small, and while cloaked, and to go close enough, and decloak, it feels silly.
But they launched a full spread of sensor blinding bursts.
Whatever they are.
Book ship, so their sensors go down.
And
they look like little discs.
And lowers sensor efficiency to 40%, whatever that means.
I like Tarka's line. Well done, them.
Yeah.
Sensors are down to 40%, so that was kind of fun.
So what does that mean? Like, are the emitters damaged? In which case, I don't know what that means. Like, shield power is lowered sensor efficiently. I mean, it's fine if it's getting jammed, but it's a burst of energy which is then stops. I don't quite understand what's happening here. Overloading it's fine, but damaging it, sort of damaging it, just feels odd to me. But then he launches his own thing, a magnesium cloud. And they've got 20 seconds.
Sorry. Hydrogen cloud.
And they have 20 seconds, so Burnham has a chance. Burnham can smile and spend about 9 of those seconds just telling everyone about it.
A magnesium charge. Oh my god, he's going to ignite it in 20 seconds, guys.
10, 9.
How do you know that?
Now do a left. 4,
in
3.
Space. Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, you're counting down while I'm talking because it makes sense. He pulled the same move. Oh my god, this guy, Oh, this shit's getting old. The Breen Gambit. They got a thing for everything. They got a situation for every situation.
I was fine with it. It's just, it actually would have been quicker to spore into the hydrogen cloud and launch it. Like, it's like putting a bomb on a plane or whatever and giving it a timer. It gives them just like more than you need. Why give him 20 seconds? If it's you know what I mean? Like that.
If Book knows that she knows, reduce it to 10 fucking seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, just spore in and fire it and spore out. You can be quicker than that. Sporing takes 1 second. Not just that, Stuart, but this explosion is 2-dimensional.
It is.
You can duck.
It's like the Praxis effect.
You can duck from a magnesium flare.
And then go hide in a dust cloud.
Yep. No, a dark matter cloud.
Oh, yes.
And I do quite like, though, that where the Tarka's like, the hell are you on about? Stop laughing. And Book's having a whale of a time. And he's like, the hell are you? Like, I love the contextual difference. He's like, end of the universe. And Book's like, my girlfriend's trying to not kill me.
The Breen Gambit. She's got a good memory.
Yeah.
I'm guessing she's probably in that dark matter cloud if I know how she thinks. Yeah. I don't know. It's just annoying to me. Once or twice is fine, but this is like the 5th or 6th time this has happened now. It's like, seriously, guys. You're using way too often. But anyway. Yeah, I know her tactics and I know her crew. So anyway, they find a high concentration. Well, Discovery finds a high concentration of galactic barrier particles.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically found the DMA. But we also find out that there's enough boronite here that the DMA is going to be here for a week.
Yeah. I don't mind Stamets' line of...
Oh, that's not yet. I saw Stamets. This is where he says, we haven't figured it out yet. And she's like, can you go faster? Is there any other answer other than yes? No? Then yes.
Like, Stamets is a smart man.
He's going as fast as he can.
But he's been told to go faster.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cute enough. All I do is I picture back to season 1 Stamets, who does not like Burnham, doesn't respect her, and knows he's smarter than everyone. And here he is being like a little puppy bitch, being like, "Yes, Captain, this, and this." Like, tonally, the character's shifted so radically from... I mean, you've just been watching season 1. I mean, not at all the same character.
No. I like him much better in season 1, where he's a snarky asshole.
Yeah.
Here he's just kind of like, I'm Mr. Nice Guy.
You're the captain, even though I'm older than you and higher rank than what I was until, you know...
Yeah.
It's just... Yeah. And also, she does say British engineering as well in this episode, which pissed me off.
Yes. Yep.
Where's the chief engineer? Where's his secondary crew? What is the sport chamber?
Where's the warp core?
Just garbage. Build a new set. Whatever. Then you got what feels to me like an insurrection reference coming out of the gas cloud with Cloak kind of working, which I thought was lovely. And this is when I thought the CGI got good, because they've had a habit of doing harsh, dark blues all of the time.
Yeah.
Bright, beautiful orange is so refreshing to see the ship lit, because blue is very dark. This is lit, and you get to see the ship and you can appreciate it. And the gas clouds, very, very pretty. I wish they would use the ship. Yeah. I wish they'd use the ship more, because they're so hesitant to do space shots. It's astounding. I do more space shots. Seriously, I do more space shots in like a 10-minute film than they do.
Yeah.
And they've got tens of thousands of dollars, like, per sequence. Yeah,
but they find the DMA and they throw something up on the screen. I don't know if it's a representation of the power core, or I don't know if it's the actual DMA. That's how it looks, because it looks weird. A molecule, and yes, it does look like the Omega particle. We have a video coming out about it. So many people mentioned that in my live last night. I had to reassure them that we already had a video coming out about it. So it's coming out, guys. Don't worry.
And I like the design. I thought it was a fun, you know, how do you represent a technology from a race from another another galaxy that's more advanced than anything we've ever seen ever? Yeah, shimmering liquid metal with a glowing middle. Yeah, I liked it. It was nice.
Yeah.
Looked advanced. Although, boy, what a zoom! Because this thing is 10 light years, and this thing's still got to be pretty huge. So zoom into a hell of a zoom. And then very quickly, well, you have a redundant line of Narn saying, "Well, we have a head start. We better have a plan." It's like, there is no plan. Like, they just wing it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pace is weird.
Well, Burnham also makes the point of, once we get the timetable, the timeline for this thing, I'll be able to talk to Book. And Non's like, well, it hasn't worked so far. Well, he doesn't really want to see anyone hurt. You know, he's logical. He's my boyfriend. You know, I know he'll be fine.
He might not accept the call, though, because he's actively declined several times. Luckily, he'll stop all his actions later on to allow a conversation to happen. Luckily, he'll just stop.
Yeah, and she's like, what if it doesn't work? Well, then we'll find another way. We already have another way. And this is where I respect Burnham, because she says, Commander Reese, if Non gives the order for that tactical program that will destroy Book's ship, I want you to follow her order. She has the call on it, which I like, because she took away her command it, which was awesome. And she knows that Reese is not or sides with Book on this.
Well, she wouldn't know that. I don't think she was in the room either time.
No, she wasn't. It was Surrey that heard that. So,
but we know as the audience. It's fine. We know.
Yeah.
But I liked their reactions. Like, we can't do that. This will destroy. And everyone's reaction is like, what? But obviously, this is universe-ending possible stuff. And I'll briefly just end the poll now. So, 81 votes. I asked the question, for these episodes of Discovery, would you rather have bad episodes but lots to talk about, or okay episodes, not much to say? And 69% said okay episodes, not much to say. So they are giving you what you want, guys. Okay episodes. What do you think about the result, Stuart?
I'm surprised, actually.
It's a hard one. It's hard. It's such a...
It is.
Because okay also means less entertaining. There are so many things that are bad entertaining. You know, these aren't the most entertaining episodes of anything, let alone Star Trek.
Kit 10K though throws in $20, so thank you so much, Kit. If I made it through the academy in the 32nd century, this is how it would go for me. The academy, congratulations, you've graduated and have been assigned to serve under Captain Burnham. Me, screw that, I resign my commission. And Kit 10K throws in another $5 and says, well, that's how I kind of felt about Burnham as a captain. Okay, fair enough. I think she's been a pretty good captain this season, though, honestly.
I mean, if she's on the ship, run. If she's the captain on the ship, take the job.
Yeah.
So Stuart, read out the new poll when you see it.
It is, would you have sided with Book or Burnham? Which B would you sign with? Book or Burnham?
Just interesting.
Yeah.
So then they appear. And this is probably my favourite part of the episode, I think. Although, again, slight plot hole. They say, we're detecting Book ship incoming. But they have to decloak to launch it. Mm-hmm. So you can detect them, so the cloak's useless. But they can't detect you are cloaked this time.
Well, they did say, Book did say that his cloak was spotty earlier. It keeps phasing in and out. So, yeah, they can detect him.
It's just the context of this line makes it seem like when we see them, we'll stop them. Like they say, we'll get in front of them. It's like, but you know where they are because you're detecting they're coming in before they decloak. So why are you waiting to decloak to jump? You shouldn't have to. It just seems odd to me, pacing-wise.
Yeah, though. But there's a nice visual of them appearing in front of the ship, in between them and the DMA. It looks great.
Isn't it great that there's no radiation coming from the DMA that'll damage a ship? That you can just get as close as you want, and there's 10 light-year mining tool doesn't do anything, and you can just zip right in front. I was really hoping for a sense of danger with this DMA. I know it's a mining weapon, but a mining tool, but if they just had proximity equals more risk, so to jump in front of them, there's more risk. And then for them to jump past Discovery is more risk, and there's a certain point of no return. But they just zip around like it's nothing, which it is nothing in this scene. Although also I'm wondering how on earth is Discovery zipping in, because they jump. Book jumps first, so he's in the mycelial network. Stamets then jumps. While he's not in our dimension, Book de-jumps, and then Stamets goes in front of him. How does he know where he's going to be before Book's even decided where to be?
Follow the most recently used mycelial highway, I guess. I don't know.
And then go forward slightly, which would imply that Book did the exact same thing. But also, is it Detmer piloting? No, it's Stamets. So Stamets, the science man, is a fucking good pilot. He's able to successfully go within millimeters of where he has to be each time without any sort of thought process.
And isn't he supposed to be figuring out how long this thing's going to be here for? Because he still got an answer yet.
No, he told Zora to do it. Like, that was a line.
Oh, that's right. Yes, Burnham did say, hand it over to Zora. Yeah.
But I love the idea of this shot, but it's so illogical, because you can't detect where they go. It should let them jump out, and
it's a beautiful shot, though.
It is, but there should have been, let one jump in and out, the other one jumps in and out. It should have been a cat and mouse, rather than a cat and mouse and mouse. It's like, there's not... If you can detect them through the mycelial network, then you can detect them anytime they jump. But that's dumb. I don't know.
Yeah.
And also, they could just jump in front of Discovery. Just jump again. Like, they could just...
Yeah. And this is where Book's like, I'm going to warn them off. Target their shields.
Let's warn them with 4 quad torpedoes point blank.
Which takes their shields down 50%.
I thought a warning shot is past the ship. Is a deliberate miss. It's like
usually like a skim off the shields kind of thing.
It's like me going to a situation with my machine guns. I'm going to warning shot you. 4 bullets to your chest.
If the torpedoes were set to minimum yield or something, if they would have said that, it would have been fine too. But
yeah, this thing wrecks shop 50% shields. 50. That means 4 more torpedoes. Shields are gone. 1 more quantum, they're destroyed. It takes 9 quantum to destroy Discovery. Brand new 32nd century refit. Are you joking? And then they launch more than 9 later. It's thoroughly inconsistent. It's a pathetic comment again. It needs to be down 10%. 50 is insanity.
And again, as you pointed out with the season with Osira, the gas explosions on the shields each time. That's not how torpedoes necessarily. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah, it's just a pathetic little moment of bad script writing. Because 10%'s good.
And yet, and Non's like, they're shooting at us, and Burnham's like, it's just a warning shot.
50%'s not a warning shot.
And Non's like, but we can both agree that Book is shooting at us, right?
Which is good. And also, I think they misunderstand what torpedoes do. When they fire, there's massive sparks everywhere, more so than the next hit. Shields are meant to take impacts. You don't see the Enterprise D every time it gets shot at with phasers, sparks flying. It's when the weapons are going through the shields because they're so low. Shields are designed to... If shields aren't protecting you and everything's getting damaged and sparking, what's the point? What is getting damaged to spark? Why are the lights on the bridge breaking when the shields are being hit? It's irrelevant 50%. That's shields protect against that. Or at least they're meant to. I mean, 50%, sure, that's a lot, but it just feels so odd. And they've always been very, very bad at that sort of... They're just always about space battles. But
it's dramatic tension, Melissa Jericho says, when Tilly was in command, she asked about the ship having a cloak, and Reese says, and I quote, yes, but we can't jump while cloaked. Yes, but the ship's also got the shit kicked out of it earlier and had a complete refit since then, so they probably found a way to make it work. So it's fine.
Yeah, it literally was in dry dock for like 3 episodes, so that, I'm fine with that.
A couple weeks, and it wasn't even finished when they pulled it out. So
yeah, they've had time to refine it, and especially since they've now worked out how to make a new spore drive, which means the guy understands it more. So I'm sure they've now worked out how it all connects. But it's interesting. But
General Grievous, $2, 9 quantums to destroy Discovery, loads tubes, LOL.
Yeah, and then they fire photon torpedoes back, and only 3 with massive petrol explosions. Also, a weird scale choice because those torpedoes are huge. And Book's not even trying to dodge. Like, it'd be so easy just to dodge or jump away. They're accepting these torpedoes. It's just...
And Tark is like, we need to stop them. And I love Book's response here. You want to go to some home in another universe. I lost my entire home here. Don't you dare tell me how to do this. Yeah. And then he says, I'm going to fire some more warning shots.
Yeah, but you knew when you signed on this guy that he's going to be dedicated. Both sides of the argument. So I'm not sure why they're still arguing at this point. Yeah, more warning shots equals more torpedoes, which don't apparently disable to hurt the ship at all, really. Well, I love the spore jump here because it doesn't actually move, but it still shoots. Which also means that, again, Sam successfully works out exactly where to go in front of them when not knowing where he's going to go, and the target computer then fires successfully 1 second after. It's an insane amount of timing. They just don't understand space battles. Even this sort of future tech, I just don't believe it.
Well, Tarkin gets frustrated, says, damn, enough, and he fires.
A lot more. Easily, shields are gone. Because if 5 take out shields at 50%.
4 quantums as a warning shot took the shields down to 50%.
Yeah.
But yet his determination with all of these torpedoes bring torpedoes. Shields are down to 20% now. So I guess the top end of the shields category is a lot weaker than the bottom end. The bottom end holds on longer. I don't know.
Because, the first barrage, 50%. There was a second barrage that hit the top of the ship. It was about 3 torpedoes. That was unknown. And then he fires about 9 torpedoes and it goes on 20%.
Yeah.
It's just, when they don't care, how can we care? Now, I will give him credit, though. There's not a single fire canister explosion from those stupid emitters. So the director said, we're not doing those that look ridiculous. Instead, there's just fire comes from the corridors when there's nothing ever in them.
They removed them when they did the refit. They're like, these things are more dangerous than they're cool, so we're going to take these out.
But those explode as they always do. But luckily, there's no fire cannons. But I just don't care. There's just no tension in this battle at all. It's very poor as they always are. And I do a lot of space battles.
Like, I'm not losing. Yeah. And Non's like, I'm not losing people on this mission like I did on my last mission. And Burnham, all of a sudden everything slows down. You hear Burnham's breathing. She's like looking around.
And obviously, and Book jumps into the thing and destroys DMA, because that's all he has to do, right? Right?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Oh.
No.
But they're not disabled. You just do it. No. Oh. What happens then?
Well, they get word that they finished calculations, and it's going to be 154 hours before the DMA is gone. So about a full week. Yeah, and then so they hail book ship, no response. Go figure. Keep trying. Yeah. Then there's a whole conversation about how many lives did you save on your last mission. 115. What is this even about?
Well, it convinces her that something. Let me do it, I guess. Oh, that isn't always about the numbers. It's about more.
About binary. It's either there's no middle ground. It's either a win or a lose. There's no middle ground. There's got to be middle ground.
You would think that she
and
was.
I know I can get booked to see.
So you think that she was like the head screw officer on the Enterprise, one of the best ships in Starfleet? How is she not this? How has Nan never learned this? Having on the Enterprise for probably, we can assume, some years. She's never learned in any of her Starfleet training. Every time on the Enterprise, she was a higher rank than anybody on the ship except Burnham, pretty much, Commander Nan, at the time. They've also been upgraded since that. She's never learned there's grey. Like, it works in this episode, but...
Well, no, she needs Burnham to tell her that.
Oh, yeah, no, that's true.
Burnham is all-knowing.
No, that's fair. Burnham does get to people's soul, yeah. Now,
Burnham wants to talk to Book, essentially, about this. And she's like, what are you going to do? Get an EV suit and knock on his window? Nah, I was thinking more of a shuttle. But yeah.
I don't know. No, they say view screen. It's a view screen all of a sudden, despite that actually being a true window. So they launched a shuttle, and I'm wondering, Stuart, why has Book not done anything in the last 3 or so minutes?
Well, when we cut back to Book's ship, he's saying to Tarka, "Touch that console again, and I'll take your hands off." So they're having a discussion because they don't notice the shuttle coming up right away.
But it definitely feels as if they've just started the conversation. That's what you say straight away.
Yeah. They're playing it very loosey goosey with the time here. So
yeah, this is one of my hated cuts. It was like that doesn't work. Now I do like the fact that the thing, it looks to be as very low power, so maybe they got disabled. But let's not give them the credit of that because the view screen's still on, the tech's still working. They do stuff in a second, so it's clearly fully functional.
Well, Burnham does say, you haven't been answering our hails, and he's like, we've been kind of busy. So maybe they have been dealing with some kind of damage control issue. Because they are face-to-face, there's no shield bubbles active. So unless it's one of the close to the hull ones on Book's ship, which I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think we've seen those. Yeah. But I do like this. I just hate the fact that they won't do anything with no reason. But this is nice. This is, it's putting all of your cards on the table. It's nice.
Yeah. This is where she tells them about the new data. It's going to be a week, so we have time to think about it. And you see the look on Tarka's face, like, this guy's going to go off. He doesn't want to hear this. And I'm thinking the whole time, he's behind the console. You're standing right in front of the window, because it's not a view screen. It's going to go bad. And Book basically puts it in privacy mode and says, we got time to deal with this now, so we're going to do it. And basically agrees, and Michael's like, yay, I'm going to fly over to Discovery now. Meh.
Yeah, we knew it was going to happen instantly, so it's not the most powerful of scenes anymore.
And why does Burnham beam onto the bridge? Like, I guess the shuttle docks automatically. She just beams off to get back to the bridge quicker. I'll buy it. Sure, she's a captain. She needs to be on the bridge, but...
Well, briefly though, I like the privacy filter. I thought it was quite fun. I didn't think
even opaques the glass. You can't read lips because that's always been the thing we said.
It's a window, so it's there's nothing else that you can do. I didn't think the scientist was really arguing as hard as he could. Like, everything's on the line. He kind of argues a bit pathetically, in my opinion, in this one. But Burnham leaves, and there's a specific shot though, which I don't know if you've captured, where Burnham does, like, the shuttle goes in, and then as it's hitting the ship, before it goes in the bay, it gets absorbed by like a green energy, which I'm confused about. And then she beams onto the thing. Yeah, it's like half a second because it goes out of focus, but I guess there's some sort of tractor beam or something. Because I mean, yeah, then she beams on.
Eugene
throws
in 250 rubles and says, "And book freezes in time to do nothing while Tarka does his villain monologue."
Yes. Yeah. He just stands looking at a thing. Yeah, the thing about what did you say? The thing about
of game 3.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very yeah, and even he does a thing. What are you doing? Doing a thing you can't do. It's just laughable, the pacing here.
Yeah, the whole you gotta be clear-headed to make the right decisions and da.
Because you're clear-headed.
Yeah, good. Yeah, Kit 10K throws in $10, matching a $50 super chat. Come on, guys, give me a challenge to help out Trekyards.
Very kind.
Ooh.
Oh, that's good. Cornelia says, I thought for sure Tark was going to pull out a phaser and shoot him in the back when Burnham was watching. That would have been much more interesting. Actually, I didn't consider that as well. Pull out a phaser.
Stunning him, yeah.
Because you shouldn't leave nothing to chance. That's the escalation you want. As soon as Book says no, Charles starts going, and then they beep, energy signature on the thing detected, and Burnham beams in, and then that would have been a far more impressive moment, actually. Because as soon as she beams in, diddly, they've already launched it. Can we do anything? I do not think so. And then the tone instantly stops to, okay. I guess this has happened all of a sudden. Let's leave. Okay. Bye. It's very abrupt and doesn't quite work.
But Tarkin pulls up the thing, and Book's like, "What are you doing?" "I'm being clear-headed." No. Anyway, yeah. So they beam the weapon into the DMA controller, and
hi, Jason.
Hello, Jason. Anyway, Tark is like, "Hey, we just beamed it in. It's gonna go off soon. We need to get out of here because it's going to the detonation is going to stretch half a parsec. We need to go." And he's like, "Not till they're safe."
Lucky that we all have instantaneous travel devices.
Luckily, yeah.
And luckily, Books doesn't need any spores or any refueling.
Yeah.
Just saying. So I asked a poll, guys. 57 votes says, would you have started with Book or Burnham? 75% said Burnham. 25% the Book. Cool. Nice. We have one more poll as we start to close out, or need to close out.
Yes, sir. Guys, hit that like button. We're at 95 people watching with 79 likes. Let's try to get to 100 likes. If you haven't hit like yet and you're just joining us, by all means hit it. We really appreciate that. Misha throws in $5. At work, so can't interact much, but wanted to say howdy. Hi, Misha. How's it going? Good to hear you. Huh. Never mind. It's fine. But yeah, hit that like button, guys. Coming up to the end here. And we still want your thoughts. So if you want to super chat your thoughts or whatever, by all means, now's the time so we can talk about it. But
all right, read the poll when you see it.
Okay, I will when I see it.
So yeah, the thing explodes, and then...
Do you think there will be satisfying payoff to this DMA story? Yes, it's all building up. Nah, it will be a letdown.
Don't know. So I was surprised.
Hold your vote.
So surprised by this visual. The thing explodes, disappears apparently because and undoes it, and then the thing's still there, and it's slightly retracting, but they cut away so quickly that I thought at first it didn't do anything, because visually, if the thing's there, blows up, it's still there. Well, nothing happened. So I should have linked on that. And then it just cuts to them talking about it, and it doesn't quite have there wasn't a satisfying praxis moment of this was the thing we were fighting for 9 episodes. 3/4 of the series, we blew it up, and it's such a piss poor little moment. And then it skips to power source. They'll thank you. No power source.
It's powered from the other side of the wormhole. You think?
what have we said?
You're speculating in one of the episodes earlier how something so small could have a power source anomaly. You're a smart guy, Tarka. Come on. We even speculated that it was being powered from the other side of the wormhole. Like, seriously. Anyway.
And he didn't even... I know he was letting his emotions cloud him for, I want it to be a power source, but wouldn't you be scanning this thing as soon as you arrived? Wouldn't you be... Like, shouldn't you already know that as soon as they got closer? Like, he would be scanning this. Especially as he already did. He already spent 5 hours reprogramming the bomb to stay around a power core. So he saw there was no power core. He would surely be able to detect a power transfer of gigaquads of, like, it's a payoff, but it's such a poorly set up payoff. Yeah, it's not so good. Not so good.
But we got a nice shot of Discovery at Federation headquarters. And I love that there's tethers. I love that there's tethers from like the Enterprise J to the Voyager J to the station.
Yeah, that's
seems to be like, I don't know, it's weird.
And that's a reuse from a previous episode as well.
Yeah.
And then, but someone says the DMA story has been much more satisfying than the Burn, don't you think? No, I thought the Burn was much better.
So far, yes.
Much better. Guys, vote in the poll. Vote in the poll. So yeah, they failed, but the tone of the conversation isn't "we failed miserably," for some reason. It doesn't have that big climactic note for some reason.
We have no idea how they're going to respond to this, so they're implementing emergency protocols in case of retaliation. And they're fast tracking the first contact mission now. Well, what? You've been doing that the whole time. You were taking your time before?
And you're also the first contact ship.
Yeah.
You're waiting for the communication thing, which you can't speed up. It's a very illogical sentence. And then it cuts from that to, let's talk about personal stuff to end the Narn storyline that we sort of care about. But do you know what just happened, guys? This is so unimportant in what's happening this season. Why are we focusing on this in this moment? Yeah.
Kit 10K, $10. Time is running out, guys. Double dog dare you to beat a $50 super chat. Hell, I'll triple dog dare you to beat a $50 super chat. Ooh, shit. Yeah, and then there's the whole, remember that conversation we had about black and white? Wow, I actually did find my family, but I didn't fit in. I was out of time, and she couldn't tell them that she was from a different time, and so there wasn't much she could say. So she came back. And then Burnham says you got a place on the ship anytime you want it. Anyway.
Well, then, yeah.
Who cares? And a hug.
Yeah. And guys, if we can get 10 more likes and at least $26 of non-kit dollars, that'd be great. 26 will get us to a nice round number. However, kit throws in at the end. But 26 more dollars, guys. Super doable. So I think we're basically at the point. We've got one more scene.
Well,
we've got 2 more scenes.
We've got the Colbert. 2 more scenes.
Yes.
We got the Culber and Saru scene where it's like, she asked me on a date, and he's like, well, you should do it, stupid.
Well, because he says, I can't do it because I'm busy and she's busy and I'm doing the end of the universe stuff. Just do it.
Yeah. It's a good conversation, but it's very small and forgettable. So.
And it's so poorly placed. It's like, do you know what just happened in the universe? Yeah. This is a season, like, this is an episode 3 sort of discussion. You know? Not an episode 9 discussion.
But then Saru gets called away to the bridge.
Yes.
And it's like, guess what? You know that area where the DMA was that just exploded? Well, the USS Mitchell's there monitoring. And guess what? The DMA's back. Dun 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 dun.
I think at this point we're all waiting for the big finish.
Yes.
And the big finish is just everything he did was pointless.
Well, the last line doesn't make sense. Because it's like, then it would seem, like it or not, we just made first contact.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you by blowing up their thing, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have liked to have seen a ship or two come out of the DMA and then have that line. We just made first contact. So that we know that next episode something's going to happen. We're going to find out who is responsible for the DMA.
No, I buy it's first contact because they didn't know there's anyone on the other side. Them seeing this thing was destroyed is the first level of contact with them. It's not, it's still a technical first contact, just not in the sense they were meaning, But I mean, I do like the ending quite a lot in that, oh, you think you've got us, bro? We've got 10 more. Like, we've got them in 3 other galaxies. This is nothing. I'm not going to retaliate. We're just going to send another one. Like, I do like that. It's a testament to this isn't big for us guys. Keep blowing up. We'll keep putting new ones in. You'll run out of bomb material before we run out of DMA tech. I like that. It's a
yeah.
But it honestly makes 9 episodes feel. Well, where are we?
What
have we learned? We know so little. We're 9 in. They've spent, like, if it's 10 million an episode or whatever, like, they've spent so many millions of dollars to get us here. And this is all we have so far. So many people can make a better season for the same amount of money or half.
Misha, though, it's $2. Vulcan Love Songs.
Ooh.
And Henry Ulrich.
And
it's in $10.
Thank you.
They're trying so hard to make this emotionally affecting, but who cares is right on. Yeah.
It's just the placement. If this wasn't universe ending, or in the that scale, it'd be much better. But it just feels so. But at least they haven't got the Discovery shuttles from season 1, 2, and 3. They are gone. Yes. Deleted from the universe.
Replaced by Orville shuttles.
Yeah. Oh. Nice burn.
Ozzy Medeiros, $2. USS Mitchell, named after Gary Mitchell? I mean, possibly. Sure.
Hey, Great Barrier. I mean, there's a link.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Focus this camera.
And we end on that. It is a moment. And once again, the ending leads us to think, oh, next week will be better and cooler, and more will happen. It's like
until next week.
Yeah, it's like something's got to happen one of these weeks. I guarantee they've just been stretching this season, because this should have been like this should have been the end of part 1 of season 1. Yep. That's the moment you end on.
Yep. Anyway, guys, it's time. It's the time of the live where you guys get to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not vote, but vote on the poll as well. But put in your score out of 10 for this season of Discovery, as well as all of the seasons of Discovery, or all of Discovery. We want to read those. If you super chat them, I'll read those. If you put them in the regular chats, Samuel will get to those. We're going to do our closing thoughts now, and I'm going to read Kit 10K's $10 super
please
chat.
Always put in your score. We really want to know how our scores better you guys. So if you're here on a phone, on a tablet, jump on, start typing. What would you give this out of 10? Please do.
Kit 10K, $10. You'll like this, Stuart. I've just put the finishing touches on the TOS Type 2 phaser with removable parts, like TNG phaser I did yesterday, and is on Shapeways. Cool.
Yes, you like Shapeways, don't you? How good can they make it? How good can they print? Because I know 3D printing is always...
Shapeways has a bunch of different ways you can get things printed. Some are cheap, some are expensive. Different finishes. Like, Shapeways is awesome.
Yeah, because I can imagine, they just use a different printer, and if you use an industrial printer, it can do no sanding required level printing. And where a 3D model can be as good as it can be, but if it prints to a really, really sleek quality, yeah. I wonder how much, because it's just it takes like a lot longer to do, but if you have lots of things.
Oh, Kit 10K, $50. Well, since we're nearing the end, here is my super chat match. So there you go.
Amazing. And 50
Thank you, Kit.
Always is good, and helps us do very well this live, which helps other lives that don't do so well. So lovely, Book of Fett. This one though, hey.
Yeah, Book of Fett underperformed for sure.
But it was fun.
Anyway, guys.
How was that fun?
So it's my turn for me to say that.
And do you think any different as well changed after the full breakdown? Because that was a big question you had.
Maybe about a few of the discussions and interactions were well written, better than I remember, but it just doesn't fix the overall picture for me. So not really, no. Non-returning was nice, but it went nowhere. Essentially, she's gone now again. Don't care about her family. I just never did. So whatever. the 10C coming back. Ooh, what a twist. Don't care. The Book and Tarka stuff was just a rehash of what they've been doing. And even Michael, like, oh, he's reasonable. He'll listen. Again, it's a lot of retreading of what they've already done. And it should have definitely been combined with the last episode to be its own episode. Sure, we got to see a cool little shuttle sequence. That was visual. But everybody on the shuttle had no fucking clue what they were doing. So it didn't contribute at all in any way to getting out of the situation. No point or so. This one had some great visuals in it, though. The DMA, the all the spore jumping, the DMA behind Discovery. There were some really great visuals in this one, and it was all right. It was fine. I just don't have much to say in conclusion, man. For this season of Discovery, I'm going to give this a... for this season... I forget what I gave last week's. For this season, I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Well, do you want to know what you gave last week's?
No. Yes, I do want to know.
You gave that a 3.5.
Oh, okay, good. All right, well, this one's going to get a 5.5 out of 10.
And for all Discovery?
For all Discovery, this one probably should get a 6.9.
Okay.
There was some wishy-washy first couple season episodes, so this is better than some of this other stuff that, I'd rather watch this than some of the other ones.
Well, that's the problem. When you start to get into genuinely enjoyable versus not many problems, season 1 has plot problems, character problems, story problems, tech problems, canon problems, plot holes. But some episodes are like, oh, that's a fun, shitty ride. This is not full of plot holes, not full of canon problems, but it's not that interesting. So it's hard to kind of, this obviously doesn't break canon in any way, but it's not particularly interesting.
Yeah.
And for an average person who doesn't care about canon, season 1's far more enjoyable because it's doing something really weird and they don't know sonar in space is a nonsense. They don't care. We're just like, for me, it feels like a super average episode. It does one or two very small things quite well, but they are fleeting moments inside a bigger thing. It's incredibly padded. It feels incredibly padded. I'm glad it wasn't 55 minutes, because that would have been a problem. Oh, the thing didn't reset. Yeah, it's just another one. There's very little in this to watch again. It's not particularly enjoyable. I like everyone else got something else to say, but none of it add to their characters. It wasn't meaningful stuff for the most part. I like the DMA look. That was fun. I like the space battle in theory, but not in practice, really. Book, I like he's not being presented as a villain. They want to have him as being a hero later, so they have to not push him too far. But better than last week. I think, I can't go higher than 5.5, Stuart. I'll join you on that hill. I think it's better than last week by a point, but I think for all Discovery, 6. Yeah. Better than the average, but that's because season 1 drags the average down. At a certain point, the average is going to go up because season 1 can only pull it down so much. That's the irony. If these ones are medium, then the average changes. This is going to be such a strange top 10 list by the end. This is like Prodigy we knew which one was the best, but who the hell knows what we're going to say for this one? God, it's such a weird season.
All right.
Subject scores, Stuart.
Misha, $5. Do you think COVID restrictions required script changes and scaling back of the story? 6.5 out of 10.
Well, there you
go. Probably had a bit to do with it, I think.
I'd say massively. Yeah. Massively. That's how it feels.
Massively?
Oh, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Kit 10K, $5. Shapeways has a 3D printer that costs $500,000, so it's pretty good.
But can that only print one thing at a time?
I would imagine not. No.
Yeah, so it's more just like it's a scale rather than quality. I'd be interested to see, like, I've no idea what the pricings are, but like, what would it be, like I said, a phaser, like, how clean is that phaser and how much did it cost? Because, you know, I have friends that do
You can
3D.
get some really nice printed stuff there. Trust me.
Because I know people that do 3D printed stuff, it's home stuff, and often you can tell it's 3D printed, obviously, sometimes you can't, but if you can submit your own 3D model, it's like, well, then it's, you know.
And Sergeant Montgomery, $2. Warp 6.5 out of 9.99999 old scale. Okay.
Cool.
Some of the non-super chat scores.
Let's see what you guys think. So we've got a 6 out of 10, says Matthew. 6 out of 10, double guitars. 0 out of 10, Hampus. Oh dear. SW1 Noir, 5 out of 10. George Mangum, 7.7. Christopher, 8 out of 10. Aussie, 6, no grudge. Yeah, the grudge has not been appearing. General Gris, 5.5 out of 10C.
That's good. Good.
You should have said 5.5F out of 10C, then you should have added that.
Before you continue reading, I just want to say 4 more likes get to 100, guys. While he's reading them, 4 more likes. 4 people haven't hit that like button. I know
$17. You see the number, Stuart? That'd be a happy day number. So $17.
Yes. Yes.
Tori, 7 out of 10. Carlos, 6.2. Up from the last one, which was boring, but not after to be stimulated. Yeah. Mark, 6 out of 10. Eric, 7 out of 10. Anton, 5 out of 10. Donnie, 9 out of 10. Loved it. Django, 4 out of 10. Happy Gnome, 6. Andrew, 6.66. Manam, 2 out of 10. And there we go. So yeah, we are exactly with our audience there.
You missed Colin Barrett, who's a 7 out of 10. Not bad, not good, but not great.
Oh. Colin Barrett, 7 out of 10. Not bad, not great. And guys, vote in the poll. Final few minutes. $17. We've hit our like goal. I asked, do you think there'll be a satisfying payoff to this DMA story? Stuart, read out the results.
Well, nah. It will be a letdown. You should have said non. It will be a letdown. 72%. And yeah, it's all building up at 28%. So the nas get it this time. So it's going to be a letdown, guys. You've heard it here first. And Kit 10K throws in $5. In a few days, Samuel, you'll see how good the lowest quality is with the ships I sent you. And FYI, it isn't bad.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Come on, another $12, guys. Another $12 will put us at a good point. If you want that last super chat slot, right now Kit 10K has it. But yeah, we're just hoping next week is going to be better. I want something important to happen. Let's meet the 10C. Let's jump to the outside the galaxy, past the galactic barrier. That might be a cool thing to see. Like, there's so much potential in the next 4 episodes, and yet I feel like 2 of them are going to be filler episodes. These last 6 episodes could have been 3 episodes. That's the feeling that I'm getting at this point, and it's sad.
Yeah, it's. I mean, COVID obviously did a lot to this. I feel, but you can still plan smarter.
Yeah.
So it feels like it's lacking a bit.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing.
And we both really liked season 3.
Season 3 and 4. 4 was shaping up to be pretty good in the first few episodes. It was like, oh, the DMA, ooh, this is gonna be interesting, and then it's just fizzling. It's just fizzling out, and it's sad.
Yeah, no fizzling out.
Zeraxis throws in $2 and says boink, which means we only need $10 more.
Ooh.
One $10 super chat is what we need, or 2 5s.
Yes.
Or 5 2s, or 10 1s.
Or math.
150.
Well, hey now. And so tease what we're looking at this weekend on Trekyards.
Are you doing the Omega thing? Because it should probably be done this weekend.
There's nothing else to talk about, Stuart, so...
The Omega Particle! We're going to compare the Omega Particle, what was on screen in this episode, which is supposedly the DMA, and the comparison between that. Plus, we also have some episodes coming out on the the Discovery A refit, and some of the concepts that were done for that. There's like at least 3 that we talk about. Some interesting designs, and so there's a few episodes coming out talking about different concept designs for what the the Discovery refit could have been, and how it could have been depicted compared to how it was. So there's some good stuff coming, which you guys I think will enjoy, because we are the ship guys, and the concept stuff is always great. So tune in for those.
Yeah, and it was nice, just a very like hardcore ship thing, because often with these ones, as in the new stuff, these shows, we get a fleeting glance. So it's nice that you have like a proper full shot rendered, like actually dissect and see everything. Like we looked at the Vulcan ship and it's like, well, we sort of see it. Yep. Yep. So it's nice to. Yeah.
Kit 10K throws in $20. Here's your 12 plus 8, guys. Thank you so much, Kit. And then Matt goes in for the last super chat slot with $10. This $10 super chat is more exciting than the last 2 episodes. It is, especially for us.
Pretty exciting for us.
The $10 super chat makes a big deal to us. Trust us. So.
Yeah, and it's really nice to be, feel more happy about the month so far. It's nice, and then obviously next month is going to be Picard, which I honestly, Discovery was like, Discovery will be better than Picard because Picard has a shitty showrunner people. Now I'm like, Discovery is so mediocre. Picard might be good in comparison. Which I never thought I'd say after seeing season 1 of Picard.
Yeah.
You know what it feels like, Stuart? It feels like just like with TNG in a sense. Season 1, their worst season. And then season 2 was a season 2. And then season 3 is a season 3 of TNG. And then season 4 is a season 7 of TNG.
Yeah.
It's like they peaked and then mediocre again.
Yeah.
They skipped good quality of season 4, 5, 6, and 7. Very strange. Very strange.
Well, they're showing us true colors and they're holding true to this Discovery. Anyway, moving on. Stephen W. Fathery. $5. Here's an extra 5, gentlemen. Have a good weekend. Also, we will be discussing this episode live on Text Trek in 2 hours' time. So check in with them, guys. That'd be awesome.
So that's 1 a.m. GMT for those of you that are awake.
Dun, dun, dun.
And just because we're here, I'm happy to sort of vaguely announce that I'm attempting to get another Star Trek fan film of mine out this month, in the month of February. Although look at the calendar, there's actually 3 days less than I thought of this month, so that's great.
It's February.
I didn't know. Okay, great, awesome, yay! Only got 10 days to release a fan film this month, DS9 themed. My first DS9 theme one. It's mostly done. I just need a bit more time on it, but I got to do work this weekend. But I'll try and find some time Saturday, Sunday maybe. So yeah, if you guys are looking forward to Trek shorts, a new release this month. Like I said, it's mostly done. It's got a lot of fun stuff in it. It's got Defiant CGI you haven't seen since DS9. So look forward to that. Share, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and support us when we do more, fundraising efforts, because we're going to need it, because we're doing a lot of cool things, and Stuart knows all about that, and there's a lot. There's a lot.
And on that note, guys, hopefully next week will be better, but tune into the weekend videos, and Monday, Tuesday, there'll be videos as well. Plus, we have lives next week. We might do some top 10s. Who knows? But we need more to talk about, and I think next week starts Picard.
No.
Or the week after.
I hope not.
It's the last 2 episodes of Discovery, so we got a few weeks still. Okay.
Yeah, let me look for.
March 6th or something.
March 3rd.
Yeah, we'll be doing double duty for 2 weeks, 2 shows, but that's okay.
But if Discovery is this lackluster, it'll be like 1 episode of Discovery and then.
Well, the last 2 episodes are going to be great.
I don't know that, Stuart. I don't know that.
But with our luck is what I meant.
Yeah. And of course, a Strange New World trailer might drop, and we'll suddenly have to jump to that. So maybe I should do my own fan film this weekend, because if I suddenly get hit with a new trailer, I can't spend time on my own stuff. So maybe that's smart.
A good idea. Yeah, because we're kind of slumpy this week. So
yeah, once it happens, it happens. Yeah. Okay. Fun.
The schedule's been made live here on the air. All right, guys. Thank you so much for participating.
Snipe.
What?
Snipe.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, now it's coming in. Kit 10K, $5. Sniping the last super chat, I hope.
Well, we better stop so it is.
Yeah. Well, we got to finish out our poll. We never finish our.
Okay.
Oh, we did read this one, but I didn't end it. Anyway, do you think this will be a satisfying payoff to the DMA story? No, it'll be a letdown, 71%, and yes, it's all building up 29%. So ending poll, I didn't hit end poll before. That's my fault. And on that note, me being an idiot, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Commander Kong. See you next time, guys.